All right, let's talk about something that goes way beyond just syntax and algorithms. We're going to dive into the subtle stuff. The professional habits and moves that don't really show up in a technical interview, but wow, can they have a massive impact on your career? Let's get right into it.
So, what is it? What's the secret sauce that separates the good from the truly great? I mean, we all know people who are technically brilliant, right? But there's always a select few who just seem to accelerate past everyone else. They build this incredible influence, this deep trust. How on earth do they do it? Well, the answer, it turns out, is craft. It's that thoughtful, almost artisanal application of your skills. It's this whole other layer on top of the code where you're thinking about the user, the business, the long-term health of your data. That is the real game changer.
So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to break this down into a 3-act journey to mastering that craft. First up, we're laying the foundation. Absolute trust. Then we'll see how to turn that trusted data into crystal clear decisions. And finally, we'll cover the moves that really elevate you into an influential partner.
Okay, Act 1, building the foundation of trust. This is without a doubt the starting line. It is non-negotiable because without this, nothing else you do matters. Your fanciest models, your most beautiful dashboards, they're all completely worthless if people don't fundamentally trust the numbers. This right here, this is the goal. This is what you want people saying about you when you're not in the room. When someone says this, it's the ultimate sign that you've totally nailed the first and honestly the most critical part of the craft. So how do you get there? Well, for a data analyst, one of the most powerful moves you can make is to force a shared definition before you write a single line of SQL. You create what's called a metric contract. This one little step can prevent so many arguments down the line about why finance's number for active users is different from marketing's. And the best part? It's shockingly simple. Seriously. It just starts with a quick 10-minute huddle to agree on the basics. Then you write it down where everyone can find it, and this is key, you add a simple tooltip right on the dashboard. Something like excludes test and canceled orders. Bam, ambiguity gone. Okay, so what about the data engineers in the room? The parallel move for you is just as powerful, but it's often invisible. It's all about embedding tiny, robust data quality tests directly into your pipelines. We're not talking about some massive, complicated validation suite, just small, targeted checks that act like a safety net. And man, you can see the difference it makes, right? On the left, a simple quality check catches something impossible, like a negative delivery time, and stops it cold. That one little check just saved the business from a super confusing, painful meeting. But on the right, the pipeline without that check just silently drops data, creating these mystery bugs that slowly chip away at everyone's trust. So when you step back, you can see how this all fits together. The specific moves are different, sure. Metric contracts for analysts, building idempotent pipelines for engineers so they can be rerun safely. But they all serve the exact same principles: clarity, reliability, and safety. This is the absolute bedrock of trust. Okay, on to Act 2, from data to decisions. So once you've built that solid foundation of trust, the next big challenge is making your work genuinely useful. It's all about bridging that gap between a technically correct answer and an answer that someone can actually use to make a better decision. And this is the vibe you're going for. This is the perception you want to build. You're not just the data person anymore. You're the person who actually accelerates the business. You're seen as this incredible ally who respects people's time by providing clarity, not more complexity. For an analyst, one of the highest impact moves is just brutally simple. Pick the clearest, most boring chart that gets the job done. This is not about showing off your fancy visualization skills. It's about making it as easy as possible for your audience to get the answer. The question is king, not the chart. And the difference is just night and day. A clear thinker will take a confusing pie chart and replace it with a simple, sorted bar chart that you can understand in like 2 seconds. The chart jockey, on the other hand, creates this beautiful monster with dual axes and a rainbow of colors that just completely hides the message they're trying to send. And look, this isn't just some vague best practice. It's measurable. By choosing a clear, simple chart, the time it takes someone to find the answer plummets from around 18 seconds down to just 7. That's 11 seconds of mental effort you've just saved them. Now multiply that by every person who sees your chart in every meeting, you're literally saving the company hours of time and energy. Now, the data engineer's version of this is a little more behind the scenes, but it's just as crucial, and it's all about logging. Instead of just printing out a storm of noise, the real craft is creating structured logs that tell the story of a data job. You log key decisions, boundaries, how many rows went in, how many came out.
The payoff here is just massive, especially when things go wrong. When there's an incident, good logs can slash the mean time to recovery, that's the time it takes to fix the problem, from a painful 45 minutes down to just 12. That's over half an hour of downtime you just prevented. Less stress, less business impact. It's a huge, huge win. And that brings us to our final act, becoming an influential partner. You've built the trust. You're delivering clarity. Now it's time for the moves that get you a real seat at the decision-making table. This is where you level up. This is the pinnacle. People don't just see you as someone who fulfills tickets anymore. They see you as a strategic partner who connects the dots between data and action. You're not just presenting findings. You're actually driving outcomes. You're making things happen.
For an analyst, this is a huge mental shift. You have to stop delivering insights and start delivering decisions. It's all about translating what you found into a concrete recommendation, complete with the expected impact and, importantly, the potential trade-offs.
This simple 3-line summary framework is unbelievably effective. First, what changed? Just state the objective fact. Second, so what? This is where you explain the business impact. Why should anyone care? And finally, now what? Propose a specific, measurable, safe-to-try next step. This is how you turn a number into an actual plan.
For engineers, the move is identical in spirit. Translate the technical reality into business impact. I'm sorry, but nobody outside your team cares that an airflow DAG failed. They just don't. What they care about is that restaurant menus are out of date and their dashboards are wrong. Learning to speak their language is a total superpower.
And look, when you start doing these things consistently from all 3 acts, they compound. They stack up. This is the reputation you start to build. Your manager sees leadership potential. Your colleagues see a total pro who makes their lives easier. In senior leadership, they see someone they absolutely need in the room when important decisions are being made. So, as we wrap this up, the real question isn't whether these moves work. It's which one are you going to put into practice tomorrow? Are you going to set up your first metric contract? Are you going to go and simplify that one confusing chart? Or maybe frame your next analysis as a clear decision? The craft is all in the doing.